All right, 340. Hello, everyone. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Wherever you're watching Before the Four this lovely Wednesday afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream, I say it every day. Thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here. Now, we have quite a bit to jump into today, so I say, without further ado, let's start things off. And beginning today, earlier today, we learned that a now former Madison City Schools special education teacher's aide was arrested yesterday on a child abuse charge. Now, according to jail records, 55-year-old Jamie Schwab, who you see on screen, was charged with torture or willful abuse of a child. Madison police say Schwab turned herself in on the outstanding warrant. They also say the charge stems from an ongoing investigation with the full assistance and cooperation of Madison City Schools. Now, Madison City Schools Superintendent Dr. Edwin Nichols released a statement the morning after Schwab's arrest, confirming that she is no longer employed with the school system. According to his statement, another Madison City Schools employee reported Schwab for possible misconduct. She was booked into the Madison County Jail and has since been released on a $5,000 bond. And today, 48's Callie Neese will have more on this situation coming up in our evening newscast. But now let's take a look at what our storm chances are looking like for the rest of the week and heading into the weekend. First Alert meteorologist Jeff DeNoyer is here with the latest on the radar. Jeff?
Wednesday afternoon to everybody. Very warm temperatures today. A few locations got real close to 90. Not official yet, but we'll see how it plays out. But last I checked, the Shoals was like 89. It's really humid today and very sticky stuff. And with all the humidity in place, yeah, I got to pop a few storms. We do have a few storms firing up. I'll show you the radar in just a moment. But temperatures outside, there's your 89 in the Shoals, 88 in Athens, 88 in Decatur, and 86 in Scottsboro. So another warm day. A lot of you saying, hey, wow, it feels so warm outside. But this is about where we should be for this time of year. But I think because the temperatures were so much cooler in May, that all of a sudden this is like kind of like in your face kind of warmth. And it's really about where we should be for this time of year. Also, fire up a few storms and some rain. You can see it off to our south and east. It's going to work a very odd direction. It's going to come southeast to northwest. And a lot of this will try very hard to get up and over the river. But if we're going to have some showers and storms, likely Marshall County, DeKalb County, Coleman County, maybe as far north as portions of like southern Madison County, but any kind of storms we have are not severe, and they'll produce a little bit of rainfall as we go into the early evening. It's all wrapping around a big area of low pressure, which is way off the Georgia coast. That's why the storms are coming back the wrong way, so to speak. But otherwise, it's mainly a dry night after a few storms early in the evening. We're in the upper 60s. Thursday, slight chance of a storm, but mainly dry, mid 80s and very humid. The problems come on Friday, though. More widespread rainfall, scattered storms in the afternoon and night. Then again on Saturday, some of those storms could be strong or severe. Gusty winds, dangerous lightning, and heavy rain, primary concerns. And the showers will linger into Sunday. Looks like a pretty wet weekend, temperatures in the low 80s. And more in the way of rainfall for early next week on Monday and Tuesday, likely continuing into the middle part of the week.
And just a friendly reminder for you all, we have Weather Extra that will be streaming tonight at 9:30. Weekdays every night at 9:30 as well as 10:30 a.m. I'm sure you guys all saw Eric Burke earlier today giving the Weather Extra. And tonight, Jeff will be here at 9:30 here in the CTV Center, wherever you're watching Before the Four right now. He always has a great time with it, so make sure to tune into that. He'll be giving all the latest that he's seeing on the radar. But now a Huntsville native has made history in not only Austell, Georgia, but in all of Cobb County. Now on June 1st, Shametta Jones Harrell was named the first female chief of police in Cobb County, Georgia history. According to her family, she is a graduate of Lee High School. We certainly wish her the best of luck in the role. But now we're going to move over to an update to a story out of Decatur we first brought you weeks ago when it happened. The family of 17-year-old Khloe Hastings, who was killed in a fiery car wreck last month, has filed a lawsuit against both the suspect and the restaurants the suspect was allegedly at before the deadly incident. 48's Nick Ballinger has details on these lawsuits. Let's take a look.
Khloe Hastings had just finished her junior year at Priceville High School before her life was taken in a horrific way. Investigators say the man who rear-ended her was going 111 miles per hour.
And she definitely was just a comforting presence and a joy bringer.
Shannon Booth was the 17-year-old's youth pastor at Hartselle First Methodist for the past 7 years.
Khloe was a little quiet when she was younger, but she definitely grew in confidence over the years. She liked to be the hands and feet of Jesus, for sure.
Investigators say Kevin Penich drove drunk and killed Hastings around 9 Saturday night, May 17th. Booth learned about the crash the next morning, just hours before she was supposed to see Hastings for Sunday service.
People from school, people from church, even people from that mission trip in Costa Rica that we attended last year, they all said the same things. They said that Khloe was a person who made them feel seen and loved and welcomed.
The family is now turning their attention to accountability,
so that bartenders and waitresses know that when somebody shows signs of intoxication, they cut them off.
Attorney Hunter Garnett is now representing the Hastings family and filed a lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings, Logan's Roadhouse, and Alfonso's Pizza in Decatur. Investigators say Penich ordered 4 shots and 2 beers from each, 18 drinks in total.
Under Alabama law, you can't serve somebody that's visibly intoxicated, and clearly somebody that's been served 12, 13 drinks over the course of an afternoon would be visibly intoxicated.
Hastings' family and friends want her to live on as a reminder for anyone thinking of driving drunk.
That they will choose a little bit more wisely because maybe they'll think about Khloe.
And now heading out to the Shoals with another story in case you missed it. At least 3 sheriff's offices in the Shoals area have applied to be a part of the 287G program of the Immigration and Nationality Act. That would in part make them local extensions of ICE. 48's Aria Pons has details on what this means when it comes to immigration enforcement.
Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence County Sheriff's Office all signed up to be a part of the 287G program.
There's some pros and cons to it, of course.
Sheriff Shannon Oliver says Franklin County was one of the first to sign up in Northwest Alabama for all 3 of the sections. Lawrence County followed, while Colbert County only applied to be a part of the corrections and warrants, but all 3 have a connecting factor.
All we're going to do is when they get arrested, they're placed in the Lawrence County Jail. We think they might have a warrant or a civil warrant against them. We notify the immigration, and we hold them for them to pick them up if they want him.
All of the sections fall under normal policing duties. Deputies can serve warrants to illegal immigrants inside their jails and be able to identify illegal immigrants they have to hold them for ICE. But no matter the county, they all have the same mindset. This is to protect you from people who have committed a crime and more than likely a violent crime.
It's not going to be used as a tool to just go out and go door to door. That's not what we're doing. It's mainly a tool used for violent offenders that's in jail or placed in jail on a violent charge.
We're not going to go out in the field and pick them up. We're just going to get them when they come to the jail.
Sheriff Oliver says that's the main reason he applied, because of what it could do for Franklin County.
They range from murder all the way down to, child sex crimes and sex crimes and stuff of that nature, and drug trafficking. Those are some of the things that we don't want here, because it makes problems for the good people that's here trying to do the right thing.
All 3 counties have been approved, but they're waiting on training and more information before they can proceed. Reporting in the Shoals, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
And now coming up after the break, we'll go through details on added security measures coming to one Huntsville community after 2 separate shooting incidents last week, and an update to the Albertville Library after catching fire during the May 20 storms. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, my time is up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, a story out of Huntsville in the L.R. Patton community. After two separate shooting incidents in the past week, the community is adding additional safety measures. Starting yesterday, there's now a curfew aimed at limiting late-night activity. 48's Faith Delp has this story.
Residents of the L.R. Patton community tell me this used to be a quiet neighborhood, but after two deadly shootings last week, they're concerned for their children's safety.
It has been ratchet, very ratchet out here. Not a safe place for my kids.
Kayla Robinson has lived here for 6 months with her two children and says now she doesn't plan on staying any longer. Huntsville Housing Authority Executive Director Antonio McGinnis says resident safety is his #1 priority, and he is working to make residents feel safe again. He says there will be greater police presence in the neighborhood for as long as they need it, and he is reviewing the community's lighting and security. There's also a new temporary curfew being enforced. He says he is doing all he can on his end, but the residents have a responsibility as well.
And what I've seen here lately is residents stepping up, speaking up. If they see something, they're saying something, and that's going to help us eliminate some of the bad activity that's happening in the neighborhood.
Nick Hall has lived here for 2 years with his kids. He says it used to be quiet, and he hopes these new security measures help. But with the increase in violence recently, he is skeptical.
It's going to help, you know. It's going to keep a lot of stuff down late at night, maybe. But like, you know, people going to be outside. They're going to be. It's a good thought and it's a good gesture. But as far as it helping, maybe.
McGinnis says the curfew time will only be released to residents and not to the public for safety reasons. He says most of the violence in this neighborhood is brought by visitors, not residents. Reporting in Huntsville, Faith Delp, 48 News, on your side.
Well, now the Albertville Library is still going strong after the building tragically was struck by lightning and caught fire a few weeks back on the night of May 20. 48's Callie Niche reports on the update. Let's take a look.
Library Director Tanya Blevins told me she still doesn't know just how extensive the damage is to the library. She did say she learned that the upstairs was completely destroyed while the children's section was spared.
Just 2 weeks ago, the Albertville Public Library caught fire after a lightning strike.
No, that was never in the cards as far as I wished it still wasn't in the cards, but you know, things happen.
Now crews are hard at work trying to repair the roof. Blevins says she's not sure how long it may take to repair everything. She hasn't seen all the damage yet, and even the total cost is still uncertain. But progress is still being made, especially on the roof. Blevins and the library staff are doing what they can to keep summer programs going in different spots around the city. This week, a ukulele group will be playing at the Senior Center. Blevins says that just because the library doors are closed doesn't mean the library staff can't be available to the public.
Well, the library is really important to the community. It provides a lot of free services and activities for people that might not be able to, you know, go out and do things that some people have the privilege to do. So this provides entertainment and education for all members of the community.
Blevins told me that library staff will make regular updates to their Facebook about when and where events will be held this summer. And what everyone has been waiting for, the library cat Max is doing just fine. Blevins did tell me he's having a little bit of trouble adjusting to his new cat siblings and playing nice, but he's doing well. Reporting in Albertville, Callie Nice, 48 News, on your side.
And it was great to get that update on Max as well, who is doing well at the library. Of course, if you all remember, Max was the cat that was in the library while it was up in flames. Max is still doing well, so that is so great to hear. But now let's turn over to the stories that you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. Following up on the American bass anglers after several fishermen say they were given bad checks. 48's Faith Delp will have more on that situation coming up. Parents are now speaking out regarding Alabama A&M students being denied campus housing. Noah Cowell is on that story this afternoon. And finally, overcrowding at the Cobb County Animal Shelter. Aria Pons will have details on adoption coming up, and these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. 3:55, we have time for Facebook fun, and our 48 Facebook question of the day today: what is a song that easily gets stuck in your head? And let me tell you, there are a lot of songs that easily get stuck in my head. I don't even know where to begin, so let's see what you all had to say. Let's pull it up. Comfortably Numb, that solo gets me every time. Paul Carter commented that one. Of course, an absolute classic from Pink Floyd. I mean, how can you not include this one here from Sharon? Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner, an absolute classic. Another classic. Here's a good one right here, a bar song, or Tipsy from Shabuzi. Very catchy song there, Amanda. This is another song that just stays in my head. Baby Shark, every time I hear it, yeah, it always gets me. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Of course, that is Three Dog Night. Joy to the World from Deborah Brewer. Very catchy song there. Another classic. This was one of my favorite childhood songs from Joy. I'm a Goofy Goober, or the Goofy Goober Rock from the SpongeBob movie. Love that song. Brings back so much nostalgia. And then Bear Bloom said, Oompa Loompa, doopity doo, I got another puzzle for you. All these songs are just going to be stuck in my head now. I'm going to have to listen to them in hopes that somehow they make their way out of my head. I don't know how that works, but we're going to try it. You all got these songs stuck in my head. I should not have asked this question. But thank you all for commenting on today's Facebook question of the day. I always have a great time reading your comments and seeing what you all have to say. Y'all, that is just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. But thank you all for sticking around and spending a bit of your Wednesday afternoon here. I hope you all have a great night. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.